All right, y'all, part 3 with the Trump, Robert E. Lee, General Lee and such. So with the Cooter vision and the 426, all right, that 42 is tied to the 42 months of the false prophet, and that 26 is tied to the year 26, okay? That coup is the coup d'etat, and that tier is for the cross and the ER and those types of things. And then and that cooter is also tied to the thing going on with the Bud Light and the tucking on things. That 727 torque flight is also tied to Biden's full name, Joseph Robinetta Biden. The Robinetta is also tied to the Robert E. Lee, the Rob and those things, the steal, because he stole the election, okay? So him stealing the election is going to help divide that nation and such. And also Biden is certain ages, like he was 78 and 78, 77, certain time frames, okay? And now he's about to be 81. So all these things connect before stacking up that we've been tracking too. But as we've been learning how this reflection system works since the dreams and visions and numbers and all this stuff was given, and working through all these things using the talents, then we can start to develop a picture and start to actually calculate better and see these time frames, because they're all stacking up, and everything that I've told you for the most part has with a few minor details, has been laid out for 2023 by the end of summer. And then the other things that I told you is coming by the end of 23 summer is by the next 23, which is the 9/11 23 anniversary, which is tied to 24-25, which is going to help get those rise in your mom pops for those birthing pains and whatever, and they're going to close up, and we're going to see the end of the storage, and the end of old America, and things are going to freeze up, and that's that ice age, and as things freeze up, the new heaven and earth, they have been set up, and we're going to be taken into that new heaven and earth, and the old brick and mortar is going to go away. And I don't know, but I can assume that silent bomb, that ribbon nucleic acid has come out, okay? The that first day's going, that dawn, he's growing a new lawn, and as that new lawn has caught fire, okay, that charity, that lawn has caught fire, because he's doing that Bud Light, and what he's doing is you have a boy there, and he's catching on, that's your boycott, and he's catching all these beasts as they come in, or whatever, and they're cooled in, and as the Elon is sprouting, it's going to have a smaller and smaller place to eat on, and it's going to take these beasts in, and as he's doing his thing, DeSantis is going to be cooling his ones in, and as DeSantis is rising his army up, they're going to rise up with him, and after they rise up with him, that's when they would realize what they did with him. And then when Trump comes back and takes them all in with open arms, and then rebuilds the temple down in like maybe Jerusalem, Texas or whatever, all right, that's when they would like realize what they did with him, and then they would go into their years of bondage. And then after that, maybe 40 years, 4 years on the cross, on the short end of the stick, to 40 years. And then America comes back, okay? Because you could have him coming in and ruling for his 40 years, all right? And what I mean by him ruling is you would have him ruling till he was 88 per se, and he dies on the throne, and then he gives the throne to Baron. And that Baron, the Baron, he takes over, and he's part of that last Trump, or that America. Okay, the Eric and Ivanka, they can come on and rule. But they could do that 40 years or whatever, and then they could come on and bring America into the new America after that point. But I see it more being on the 4 years or whatever. But because what's gone on is the judgment has been set by the people, by the living God themselves. Okay, they did everything themselves. It's your own choice. But everything's going to be kind of, that's where you have your infrastructure all set. Okay, so as the storage closes, we could be moving into those big buildings or whatever. And that could be our mansions with many rooms and whatever kind of thing that's going to be going on. But we'll see how all this plays out. But if they just end up the China in 2025, 26 time frame, that kind of thing, that destruction there, they can rebuild the new heaven and earth with the 3D technology and the 3D, the Lego buildings they got going on in China or whatever, where they're building like full blown apartments in like a week or whatever. It's some unbelievable time frame, but it's just basically all, they're just stacking them. They're all like pre-built, kind of like the cargo container homes. Either way, so we can kind of see these things setting up. There's going to be a whole new thing going on here. So, and the new heaven and stuff is already being set up. But as it's being set up, the old is being taken out. And let's cover the Federation and Confederation, because we see people like Mark Zuckerberg, okay? I don't necessarily know who's a puppet per se. I can assume who's a puppet, like Elon Musk. There's certain characters that we can tell by their history and story and stuff that they are a puppet, okay? So what I see going on is there's a real dude and there's a fake dude, okay? So kind of how I see this is like Steve Jobs, all right? He is the real guy, all right? And then you have Microsoft, Bill Gates. He's the fake guy, all right? And it could be vice versa, all right? It doesn't really matter. What matters is I see the first one being Jesus operating through man and setting up something new, okay?